Dark screen fades into a tense city backdrop. Slow, suspenseful music builds. She was just walking home after work. No crime, no threat. But what happened next would shake the entire nation. Footage shifts to flashing red and blue lights. A crowd begins to form. Before we continue, let me know in the comments where in the world are you watching from. And if you believe in justice and truth, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel right now. Camera zooms in on a black woman calmly standing with her phone recording. Because this is not just a story, it's a wake-up call. The sun was just beginning to set over downtown Atlanta, casting a golden glow across the high-rise buildings and bustling streets. The sidewalks buzzed with the hum of city life. People heading home, vendors closing shop, cars honking in the distance. But on the corner of Pine and Hanover, tension was brewing. Serena Hill, a well-dressed black woman in her early 30s, stood quietly outside a cafe with her phone in hand. Her face was calm, but her eyes were focused. She was live streaming, not for fun, but for safety. Her viewers didn't know it yet, but what was about to unfold would shake the internet. "Hey fam," Serena said to her phone, her voice composed. "Just left a conference downtown. Something's happening right now. Stay with me." Two white police officers approached. Officer Rick Landers, stocky, red-faced and known for his sarcastic grin, walked ahead. His partner, Officer Bennett, trailed with a clipboard, scanning the area like he was searching for trouble. "You there," Landers barked, pointing at Serena. "We got a report of a suspicious person loitering. ID, now." Serena's eyebrows lifted. "Loitering? I was waiting for my Uber." Landers rolled his eyes, grinning at his partner. "That's what they all say." She held up her phone. "I'm recording this for my safety." "Oh, go ahead, sweetheart," Landers chuckled. "Smile for the camera." Thousands of viewers were now tuned in, hearts and comments flooding the screen. Serena didn't flinch. "Am I being detained?" she asked clearly. Landers stepped closer, smirk still painted across his face. "That depends on how you answer the next few questions." Behind him, Bennett glanced at Serena's phone but said nothing. His expression was tense, unsure. Serena's voice remained calm, but her hand didn't shake. "Officer, I've done nothing wrong." Landers ignored her. "Got any priors? Got drugs on you? You look a little twitchy." Comments exploded. "This is crazy. What's his badge number? We see you, sis. Stay strong." Landers reached for her arm. "Let's not make this harder than it needs to be." "Don't touch me," Serena snapped, stepping back. "I know my rights." That triggered him. Landers grabbed her wrist. Hard. The phone tilted downward, but not before capturing the moment. Viewers saw the officer's smug face up close. His grip tight. His attitude dismissive. "You're resisting," Landers muttered, pulling out handcuffs. "I'm not," Serena yelled. "You're assaulting me." Officer Bennett stepped forward, hesitant. "Rick, maybe we should slow down." Landers didn't listen. He pushed Serena against the cafe's brick wall, yanked her other arm behind her, and locked the cuffs tight. "Rick, she's recording," Bennett hissed. "Good," Landers sneered. "Let them see what real law enforcement looks like." What he didn't know was that Serena's live stream had now been shared on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and was being picked up by news aggregators. In under 10 minutes, she had 200,000 viewers, and rising. One viewer had already tagged the city mayor. Another sent the clip directly to a famous civil rights lawyer. Someone else just recognized Serena, in D.C., inside the White House. But back on the street, Landers pulled Serena toward the squad car like she was a common criminal. Her phone was still live, strapped to her purse, and aimed just right to catch the officer's mocking laugh. "You people always play the victim," he said. "Makes you feel powerful, doesn't it?" "You have no idea who you're dealing with," Serena said through clenched teeth. "Oh really?" Landers scoffed. "Who are you supposed to be? Beyoncé?" The crowd online was now in an uproar. Influencers, politicians, and celebrities were joining the stream, and one person watching from an unmarked SUV several blocks away had just told his driver, "Turn around, now." Back at the scene, Serena sat in the back of the patrol car, the live stream still running, the numbers ticking higher. Officer Bennett paced near the trunk, looking uncomfortable. "Rick, this isn't right." Landers chuckled, wiping his hands. "She'll be out by morning." "You think anyone cares? It's just another." He trailed off. A black SUV with diplomatic plates pulled up fast and stopped with a screech. A tall man in a gray suit stepped out, sunglasses on, badge in hand. "Atlanta PD?" he asked, his voice cool and clipped. "Who's asking?" Landers barked. The man took off his sunglasses. "Agent Marcus Hill, Department of Homeland Security." Landers blinked. "Wait, what?" The man's eyes moved to Serena in the car. "That's my wife." The air turned to eye. Officer Landers blinked hard, like his brain was buffering reality. "Your wife?" Agent Marcus Hill didn't flinch. He opened the squad car door himself, gently helping Serena out while her phone, still live, captured every second. "Are you okay?" Marcus asked, his voice low but edged with fury. Serena nodded, rubbing her wrists where the cuffs had bitten into her skin. "I'm fine now," but the whole world saw everything. The camera swerved slightly in her purse, catching Landers' suddenly pale face. Bennett stepped back, unsure if he should salute, run, or throw up. Marcus turned to Landers, holding up his badge again, this time closer. "Agent in charge, Homeland Security. That woman you just handcuffed. She's a cybersecurity advisor for the federal government. On assignment, with diplomatic protections." Landers muttered. You didn't ask. You just acted." Meanwhile, viewers online were losing their minds. The live stream had passed 1 million viewers. News outlets were embedding the video. The hashtag Justice for Serena was trending worldwide. A journalist from CNN was already on site, phone in hand, reporting live. But the real storm was brewing behind the scenes. Inside Atlanta Police HQ, alarms went off, not sirens, but frantic texts, emails, calls from higher-ups. The police chief's phone rang with the governor on the line. "Tell me this isn't real," the governor barked. "It's very real," the chief said grimly, watching the viral clip loop for the 5th time. And the arresting officer just threw away his career on camera. Back at the scene, Landers tried to salvage the moment. "Listen, sir," she matched the description. "Of what? A threat, or just a black woman standing still?" Marcus's voice was like steel. "You didn't even ask for ID before you laid hands on her. That's excessive force, unlawful detainment, and assault," Serena interjected, her voice calm but cutting. "And don't forget the racism. You looked me in the eye and mocked me. You told me I looked twitchy. You said you people. We both know what that means." Landers backed up as his partner whispered, "We're done, man. It's over." Just then, 2 unmarked federal vehicles pulled up. Men and women in suits and DHS jackets stepped out, quickly surrounding the area. One of them handed Marcus a tablet. "Sir, we've confirmed. Footage has been secured. Eyewitnesses recorded additional angles, multiple body cams. Although," the agent paused, "Officer Landers seems to have been mysteriously turned off." Marcus stared Landers down. "Convenient." Another voice joined in. A black female news anchor stepped forward with her mic live. "Agent Hill, is it true your wife was wrongfully detained and assaulted by Atlanta PD?" Marcus didn't look at the camera. He looked at his wife. "She wasn't just wrongfully detained," Marcus said. "She was profiled, targeted, humiliated, and this happens every day to women who don't have a live stream or a federal agent for a husband." Landers tried again. "Sir, tongs." Marcus raised a hand. "Save it. You're not speaking to me anymore. You'll be talking to the DOJ." In the crowd, an older black woman clutched her purse and shouted, "Tell him, baby. We've been waiting for this day." Serena lifted her phone, turning it to her face. "To everyone watching, this is what power looks like when you use it right. My name is Serena Hill. I'm not just a statistic. I'm not just another name. And if this can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. Keep your cameras rolling. Don't stop." As she spoke, phones all around the scene were lifted. Dozens of live streams, different angles, one event, a reckoning. Meanwhile, Landers' phone buzzed, over and over. Suspension notice, subpoena alert, internal affairs meeting, and finally, his union rep's voice, "Don't say another word." Serena walked back toward her husband and took his hand. Together, they moved toward their SUV as the federal agents surrounded the police cruiser. Inside the cafe across the street, a man in a gray hoodie, one of Serena's followers, silently uploaded the clip to a civil rights watchdog group. Another woman whispered, "She's going to change everything." But this wasn't over. Not yet. Serena's phone vibrated again. A call from Washington. She looked at Marcus. "They want us on the next flight back." He nodded. "Of course they do." As they stepped into the vehicle, Serena looked one last time at Officer Landers. He was no longer smirking, just sweating. Officer Brad Kinley leaned on the edge of the patrol car, still grinning. His boot tapped rhythmically against the tire, like a metronome counting down to chaos. Beside him, Officer Tyler flicked through paperwork, pretending not to notice the scene unraveling beside the curb. The woman they had stopped, Tasha Bell, remained seated on the concrete, wrists cuffed tightly behind her back. Her braided hair was slightly undone, her glasses askew, but her expression was unreadable. Calm, dangerous. Brad squatted beside her, that smug smile not leaving his face. You people always play the victim. What's next? Marches? Hashtags? He chuckled. Tasha slowly lifted her chin, her lips curved into a faint, almost pitying smile. You should fix your badge, Officer Kinley, she said softly. Brad blinked. What? She tilted her head toward his chest. It's crooked. The world's watching after all. Brad stood up, frowning now. The only people watching are the ones too soft to do our job. He was wrong. Unbeknownst to the officers, the smartwatch on Tasha's wrist, cracked but functional, had activated a live stream the moment her hands were forced behind her back. A split-second gesture, a feature she built into her own app, Bell Watch, made for emergencies. Now, nearly 2.7 million viewers were watching this traffic stop in real time. Inside the cafe across the street, a barista gasped and dropped a glass when she saw the live feed trending on every screen. Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. A middle-aged man in a hoodie shouted, "Yo, that's right outside." Phones began turning toward the street. Outside, Brad finally noticed the subtle glow from Tasha's smartwatch. What's that? He snapped, reaching for her arm. It's called Truth, she said calmly, and Truth's gone viral. Brad yanked the smartwatch off and crushed it under his boot, but it was too late. The signal had already been mirrored to the cloud, the video backup flooding into online servers, reposted, remixed, and retweeted thousands of times per minute. Officer Tyler finally looked up. Brad, check your radio. HQ's pinging us non-stop. Brad scowled, lifting his walkie. Static. Then, Unit 59, back off. You're being streamed. Get her uncuffed now. Command is watching. Brad's expression twisted. I don't take orders from social media. You will, said a calm voice behind him. It was Captain Marie Delgado. Latina, decorated, sharp. She stepped from her SUV with authority, flanked by 2 internal affairs agents. Tasha Bell, correct? Delgado asked. Tasha nodded, still seated. Release her, Delgado said to Brad. She resisted, Brad started. I said release her. The handcuffs clinked to the ground. Tasha stood slowly, brushing off her blazer, eyes fixed on Brad's now crumbling confidence. You know what's really sad? Tasha said, turning to him. You thought your badge made you untouchable. But your badge is exactly what made the world look closer. The crowd now swelled on the sidewalk, whispering, filming, murmuring her name like a spark catching flame. Tasha Bell, the app developer? The civil rights tech genius? Captain Delgado motioned toward the street. Let's walk. Ms. Bell, if you'll come with me, we've got statements to take. Before Tasha left, she turned back once more. You picked the wrong day, she said, staring into Brad's pale face, to mess with the right woman. A young girl in the crowd shouted, She's my hero. The crowd began to applaud, not loud, not rowdy, just steady, as if honoring something sacred. Tyler stepped back, shaking his head. You done messed up, Brad. But Brad couldn't hear it. His brain was still stuck on that one cursed phrase, streamed to millions. The FBI agent, Agent Reese, kept her voice calm but firm as she directed the officers to the sidewalk. 2 more federal agents joined, taking their badges and weapons. Cameras clicked. Reporters shouted questions. Daniels, his smirk now fully wiped off, tried to spin the situation. This is a misunderstanding. She was resisting, acting suspicious. I didn't know who she was, but no one was listening to him anymore. Not after the live stream, not after millions had seen Tasha's hands up, her voice calm, while he mocked and cuffed her. Tasha stood to the side, wrapped in a blanket given by one of the paramedics. Her lip was bruised from when she had been shoved into the cruiser, but she didn't cry. She didn't flinch. One of the news reporters approached her gently. Miss Bell, would you like to say something to the public? She looked into the camera. Her voice was low but steady. I didn't start filming for revenge. I started filming because I was scared. Because history told me what happens to people who look like me when there are no witnesses. But this time, her eyes hardened. The world watched. A cheer erupted from the crowd gathering behind the caution tape. Inside the station, the police chief was sweating bullets. Phones were ringing non-stop. The mayor had called. So had the state governor. It wasn't just a local incident anymore. It was a national scandal. At that moment, a limousine pulled up outside the scene. The door opened, and out stepped none other than Congresswoman Latrice Vaughn, civil rights attorney turned powerhouse politician. She approached Tasha with concern. I came as soon as I saw the footage. You're incredibly brave. Tasha blinked, a bit overwhelmed. I didn't know what else to do. You did exactly what you needed to, Vaughn said. You changed the game. Just then, the police union's lawyer tried to speak with Daniels, but federal agents waved him off. He's under federal review now. You'll have to talk to D.C. Across social media, updates poured in. Viewers were demanding reform. Beltec stock had soared, and people were pledging to stand by her. But amidst the chaos, something else was brewing. From the back of a news van, an anonymous tip had just been sent to a major outlet. Daniels had previous complaints, hidden, settled, buried. Now they were coming to light. By sunrise, the nation had a new headline. Officer Daniels removed after livestream arrest of tech CEO goes viral. But for Tasha Bell, this wasn't about headlines. It was about the hundreds of people who messaged her saying, "You gave me the courage to speak." Inside her home that morning, Tasha sat cross-legged on the floor of her sunlit living room. Her dog, Marley, rested at her side. Her phone wouldn't stop vibrating, but she ignored the flood of messages for one call. A secure line lit up. She answered. "Agent Reese here. I just wanted to let you know, Daniels has officially been charged, federal civil rights violations, and 2 of his fellow officers have been suspended pending further review." Tasha exhaled. "Thank you. And there's more," Reese added. "The department is under a full investigation now. Internal Affairs found evidence that Daniels covered up multiple excessive force cases in the past. With your footage and your live stream, they've got everything they need to clean house." Later that day, she walked into her company's town hall meeting virtually. She was greeted with standing ovations from her staff. A few cried. Many just watched in awe as their CEO, who had quietly built one of the most successful minority-led AI firms in the country, stood proudly and said, "Don't let anyone reduce your worth to your silence. What happened to me could happen to any of us. But the difference this time was you, millions of you, watching, speaking, sharing. That's how we win." A week later, the president invited her to the White House for a roundtable on police accountability. A month later, Congress passed the Tasha Bell Civil Liberty Act, enforcing mandatory body cam uploads and swift suspension for any officer involved in racial bias allegations under review. But Tasha didn't stop there. She created a nonprofit called Watch Us, funding tech tools that help people live stream incidents of injustice directly to public servers, safe from deletion or manipulation. The first billboard went up in downtown Atlanta. When they thought no one was watching, she made sure the whole world did. As for Daniels, he faced a federal trial. The smug smile he once wore was gone. Cameras were still on, but this time, they were trained on him. And Tasha? She was in the front row. As the verdict was read, guilty on all counts. Tasha closed her eyes. She didn't smile. She didn't cry. She just stood up and walked out quietly, past reporters, past chaos, because she had already spoken, and the world had already listened.